Every one of these homeless people matter to me. And I want them to have the chance to dignity and self-respect and getting a job and getting the training and getting it back into a productive life for themselves and their families and their loved ones.
So that's from Las Vegas there. Las Vegas adopting a ban that makes it illegal to camp or sleep on the street or sidewalk. Criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi in studio with us. Nice to see you, Robert.
Okay, guys.
They can do what they want, right? They're trying to head off a bigger problem. How do you see it?
Well, I can see this as a prosecutor that used to have to deal with laws that are passed, leaving it to us in the executive branch to enforce these laws. So how exactly is this law going to be enforced? And ultimately, this is a 6-month jail sentence and a $1,000 fine. So let's work it out. Assuming you can even identify who these people are, they're going to wind up going to court. If they show up to court, if they don't, they have a warrant issued for their arrest. If they go to court and they're fined, they're not going to be able to pay the fines, and so they're going to wind up in jail. And I can just tell you this, I've led a law enforcement agency with over 44 police agencies. We have too many mentally ill and chemically addicted people in jail simply because they can't afford fines. So ultimately, I see this as an unworkable solution, although I understand why they're trying to do it.
You see it as unworkable, but you see both sides of it. Do you see a better solution?
Listen, building better places and affordable housing for people would be one way, but we also got to keep in mind a lot of the people that are homeless don't want to go to shelters and don't want housing. They want to live in that environment. So it is a problem. I mean, I come to Manhattan all the time. You're dealing with urination on the streets and fecal matter and things that are a public safety risk, and it's difficult for businesses that are trying to conduct business. So I understand why it is they're trying to do it. It's a half solution. I don't think it's workable.
You saw the story from Austin, Texas this past week. They had a big problem there on their hands.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big problem, and we cleaned it up in certain points in times, and we haven't for others. And for these businesses where these folks are camping out, if you will, or staying there, are being brutalized economically because people don't want to conduct business in these environments.
For those who supported what the governor did in Austin, they said that you've allowed your local laws to be a magnet for the homeless all over Texas. It actually drew people to the to the city to be on the sidewalks there. In Boise, Idaho, this was a challenge about a year ago?
Yeah, Ninth Circuit.
What happened?
Yeah, Ninth Circuit looked at that law, and that law, however, did not provide, this law does, it didn't provide notification to the homeless person and transportation and letting them know that a shelter bed is available. So what they did with this law in Vegas is they said you cannot be cited if there is not a shelter bed available to you. But Bill, Sandra, this is what we got going there. We've got 14,000 people who are homeless, and there's only 2,000 shelter beds that are available. So what solution is this? There's still 12,000 people at any given point in time on the street. But to get around the Boise prohibition, they basically said you cannot cite somebody if there is not a shelter bed available.
There's no easy solution, that is for sure. Problem, growing number of U.S. cities. Bob Bianchi, thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
You got it.